poll was taken recently about whether people would prefer to walk through a hill of glass shards while it rains salt and lemon juice or play 2K20. I'm sure you can guess what majority of the results were, and it was not 2K20. But it's a new year, we've all survived the pandemic, and I think most of us have learned from our mistakes. We know 2K is fixing a lot of things with the game, but we only care about one thing. Is 2K22 going to have a GM mode? God, I hope so. But the next question that comes up is, what would we want that GM mode to look like, and what would we want? I've touched on this in previous videos, but things are a little different this time. The game hits different, the time hits different. It really isn't all that different. We all know the basics: drafts, trades, injuries, arena belt customization, etc. But what we're going to look at is what should be different other than the obvious. So join me, and let's do some out-of-the-box thinking for 2K22 GM mode. Number 1. Creating a show. I want to, you want to, Tony Khan wants to. We all want to pit AEW versus WWE in our own special way. So let's do that by having the ability to create our own shows. If you're saying, Earl, we already get to create our own shows on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, this is my time to tell you, go sit in the corner. GM modes of past have given you the option to pick a specific brand, but fuck a brand, I want a show, a whole company. In that sense, that makes me the chairman. My main basis is that I'm really just trying to compare AEW Dynamite with Monday Night Raw and a whole bunch of creative superstars and see who does better. Creating your own show would be great when it comes to online play as well. Speaking of, number 2, online play. What good is booking a great show if there's not another opposing show whose show you can beat the dog shit out of? Not only this, but why not allow outside players, aka your friends you pay under the table, the option to rate both shows and pick the ones they like the best, aka your show. Also, having the ability to watch a slew of different battling shows online would be great for the community as a whole. I, for one, would love to see Monday Night Hermaphrodite versus Lil Jimmy's Saturday Showing. With online play, there should rarely be a limit for anyone. 2K should just go balls to the walls with it and pray that the game does not have PTSD flashbacks in 2K20 in the meantime. Number 3. Smart AI. For those who love simulating rather than playing, how the AI conduct themselves in the ring is very important when it comes to watching a show. The AI should also fit according to the wrestler's style and the match. If you have a cage match with Jeff Hardy and Bobby Lashley, the Hardy should be jumping off a high shit, and Bobby should be doing that awesome cage break thing he did to Umaga that one time. Now, if you have a ladder match with guys such as Jeff Hardy, Bronson Reed, Gargano, and The Miz, the AI should match the wrestler's characteristics in the match. Jeff Hardy should be jumping off a high shit, Bronson Reed should be doing big man shit, Gargano should be doing sneaky heel shit, and The Miz should be waiting for opportunities. Rather than having a random outcome, the match plays out according to the superstars in the match and their abilities. This makes the match that much more interesting when it comes to signing wrestlers because each will have their own specific style that the fans may or may not like. Number 4. Cutscenes and decisions. To put it easily, GM mode should simply have cutscenes. Cutscenes that can be very uncontrolled at that. Exhibit A. If a superstar has a bad morale and is on a losing streak, he might stage a sit-in and refuse to leave until his demands are met. This is where you're great as a GM as you choose whether you have a said superstar escorted out by security or you give in to his demands. Each action has consequences, whether it affects popularity with the fans, show ratings, or even losing a superstar to the other show. Certain cutscenes should also play out for certain promos or superstars when they are assigned to a segment or do something major. This just adds another layer to that what can already be a delicious GM mode cake. There's many more scenarios I can come up with, but I refuse to share them until, 2K hires me. They probably won't. Number 5. Social media. Don't you want to put yourself in a position to be trolled and be told by Anal Buster 69 that your show was very, very poopy? I know I would. I know you would too. Seeing how people react to a show or what people want to see more of is very important nowadays to wrestling business as a whole, even if it might be not to WWE. After each show, match, segment, etc., players should have the ability to see fans tweet their pleasure or displeasure about the segment. You can even add other additions such as social media affecting superstars' morale. Well, actually, that might be a little bit too real. But it's still a suggestion. Social media can be a great indicator to see how well the GM might be doing in the eyes of the public. This can also show that while you may be making a lot of money on your show, the popularity can still be, well, trash. On top of this, you may never know when a fan suggestion might be the thing that changes the game for you and your brand, but at the same time, you probably shouldn't listen to every fan suggestion. Number 6. Contracts. There should be a variety of contracts that could be signed with the superstar. Ones that could have no compete clauses, title clauses, match clauses, Santa clauses. If a superstar's morale is severely down, they may opt to attempt to buy out of their contract just so they can go somewhere else and sign a contract. Get it? I'm very funny. Contracts with clauses can be used to decrease the price of a superstar. Example, you want John Cena but his contract is 7 figures. Boom, part-time contract. Now it's 6 figures. Another example, Baron Corbin wants 7 figures in a world championship clause in his contract. Boom, fuck you, go sign a contract. See, I did it again. Number 7, cause. This is something that is less likely to be in the game, mostly because it's going to be seen as unnecessary. But to me, for the overall GM mode experience, it is very necessary. 2K loves to do goofy shit, wacky shit, so why not let them by allowing them to create their own set of calls that can help and get your show off the ground. The 2K devs can even put versions of themselves in the game. You already created Baron Blade and Cole Quinn, what's a few more? But please remember to do all those other things first before you to do this. Number 8, match anticipation. I feel this isn't one specific thing, but a bunch of things that fall within a category, such as ratings, rivalries, and everything else. This doesn't really get talked about often when it comes to GM mode, unless maybe I might have been living under a rock. The 5-star system in 2K has been pretty much useless in the past games because it's so one-sided. With GM mode, it can be given a purpose again, especially in terms of simulation gameplay. Star ratings should be based on the pace, back and forth, and the story being told in the match. On top of this, the hotter the rivalry, the more likely this match is going to get 5 stars because of the story being told and the fanfare. Speaking of rivalries, please do not have it required for superstars to face each other every single week in order to continue the rivalry. That shit's stupid. The idea should be to get fans invested so they want to see the blow-off match by the time the pay-per-view rolls in. Which overall pretty much brings me to this point, match anticipation. Rather than having matches on a pay-per-view, the goal should be to build up the pay-per-view by utilizing the rivalries as building up the fan anticipation for the event itself. This could lead to higher ratings for the pay-per-view, more buys, and overall a more solid event, if it delivers. This is also where cards subject to change becomes important. You can have a hot rivalry and have a match already set for it for the pay-per-view, but say, I don't know, one of your stars gets struck by lightning the week before the pay-per-view. Guess what? The card has just changed and now people are pissed and you gotta save the event. Luckily that match wasn't the main event, so you choose to either have a replacement or just scrap the match altogether. This can even work for hotter angles when the said superstar tends to return back from injury and continues their previous rivalry. Now, don't get me wrong, I know a lot of this sounds really complex at times, but that's also why I don't expect this to be in this year's game. Maybe 2K23 or 24 or 30. Baby steps, 2K. Baby steps. I do believe that these are ideas that should be built upon further in 2K GM mode series. But for now, let's just hope we take the first step and put a GM mode in 2K22 itself. If you say it's going to hit different, then it should hit different. And if this year's game tends to not have a GM mode, well, then I'm going to have a very professional talk with 2K. With everything supposed to hit different though, I do have faith in this new era of wrestling games that are coming out within the next 2 years. So 2K, the ball's in your court. Please, don't screw this up. If you guys enjoyed this video and have more ideas about what should be in GM mode, please comment down below, like, and subscribe to the channel. I am trying to drop a video at least every week if I can. My schedule is pretty shitty right now, but I am doing my best. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Earl out.